everyone. I'm Maria Hill, and welcome to the Magic of Joy channel. So today I want to discuss an interesting topic. I want to talk about Bluebeard, predators, and discouragement. So I wonder if you've ever asked yourself why there's so much personal development going on, and if there's perhaps a deeper need beyond a desire for success in life. We are inundated with personal development teachers, programs, techniques, all designed to help us become smarter, healthier, richer, sexier, and more successful. These are all wonderful things to have in life, but it is worth asking, why so much effort? Is there something that is preventing us from naturally claiming our intelligence, our health, wealth, sexuality, and success? And if so, what is it? This is what we're going to talk about today so we can release the hold of that which is outmoded in our lives and in our inner being. The famous author of Women Who Run with Wolves, Clarissa Pinkola Estes, coined the phrase predatory overculture. She wrote eloquently about the predator, which is a force we all experience when we're young, and which is also a natural part of us. In other words, we internalize the predator energy, which we discover early in life. The predator is a killer, obviously. Killing is its objective. It only needs prey to do so. It does not really need anything else. That predator shows up as our inner critic, the part of us that is shamed and attacked for various reasons, including just being ourselves. It also shows up in culture as resistance to all sorts of change. We're seeing a lot of resistance right now because although it's obvious that we need change to save the planet, it's also true that there are important forces that are blocking that change since they don't want to lose whatever advantages they have. All cultural systems encourage some behaviors and discourage others. We internalize these norms. So what is not approved of sometimes becomes food for the internalized predator that we acquire. We then beat up on ourselves, often mercilessly, to be what is expected of us and essentially to keep ourselves safe. Sometimes this is actually life-saving if predatory values, including violence, are prominent in our families and our communities. What complicates this is that cultural norms can be predatory. And we may internalize the norms as being about right and wrong, and often they can be framed that way when they're not. Our desire to be seen as good and approved of can set us up to be harmed. This dynamic can put us in a bind because our true selves may have a different understanding of what is true and real, while we get cultural campaigns promoting different ideas. What do we do with that? What we call discouragement is often the internalization of cultural norms. As more and more norms are called into question, we have to ask ourselves about our own ideas, about ourselves and the values we live by. Obviously, we have a lot of serious problems confronting us at this moment, which invites the question, which norms serve our health and well-being as a culture and as individuals, and which ones do not? We are justified in questioning the discouragement that is hindering us from solving the important problems demanding our attention. The resistance can show up as mild disapproval to extremes like rejection, withholding, and violence. None of this is helpful. So if this predatory energy is a natural part of us in nature, is there a way for us to get a handle on it so we're less hampered by the fear of predatory energies, whether they're inner or outer? So let's take a look and see if we can get a handle on it and consider some options. The Britannica dictionary definition of predator is 1, an animal that lives by killing and eating other animals. So it's an animal that preys on other animals like bears and wolves. The population of rabbits, as they say, is controlled by natural predators. Then there's a second definition, a person who looks for other people in order to use, control, or harm them in some way. A sexual predator is obviously an example. A corporate predator acquiring business rivals is another. So a predator lives off other beings. In nature, predators take advantage of situations where an imbalance of one kind or another creates a feeding opportunity. And when there are too many of one kind of animal, a predator can reduce the numbers of that animal so they're more in line with natural conditions. So there's a balancing mechanism in nature that gives an important function to the predator. Of course, the predator doesn't know about these natural balances or imbalances and simply takes advantage of them. In the human world, we have more knowledge and awareness and are not let off the hook so easily. Predators in the human world can create more imbalances rather than fewer by taking advantage of those who are devalued or marginalized in some way. Therefore, they can be considered parasitic in their behavior and not necessarily balancing. It's important to note that those who function in a predatory way serve themselves. And this is where a lot of cultural conflict gets amplified when the levers of control serve more predatory members of society to the disadvantage of others, when the cultural system serves the predator and not the well-being of citizens or the common good. However, understanding and working with energy can be useful, and predator energy, when it arises, can provide us with information. It can tell us when something or someone is destructive rather than constructive, and that's useful information. So let's look at what we can do. I firmly believe that a joy practice is very, very helpful in this way. Predator energy has been the source of countless books and films. At a personal and cultural level, is there something we can do to recognize the balancing capabilities of a predator without activating the worst manifestations of this energy? Can we take the predator and let it become constructive? I believe that a joy practice does that for us for a variety of reasons. A joy practice makes creating joy its intention. Therefore, that which does not create joy or reduces it becomes questionable. And by virtue of this intention, a joy practice serves the common good. That alone neutralizes opportunities for a predator to gain a foothold in society. The balancing mechanisms of a joy practice will not make for an attractive environment for a predator. A society built to promote and maintain a common good creates and fosters trust and goodwill, and that means that predatory energies not only stand out, but they won't be supported. Everything requires support, and there has to be support for predatory energies to flourish. So a joy practice, by its very nature, purpose, and intention, supports a common good, which is a balanced and thriving society that protects us all and serves us all. Dr. Estes and others talk about inviting the brothers, as she calls it in her story, as a way to defend against and protect us from the predator. In her version of the Bluebeard story, Bluebeard flattered, indulged, and wooed young women and their families with gifts of all kinds and attention so they would feel special. He married one such young woman and took her to his castle, where she was isolated from her family, and forbade her from entering one room. She could enter all the others. So she was able to explore all the other rooms in the castle, which were filled with many treasures, but expected to stay out of the one that would expose his falseness. And when she did, she discovered that he killed the women who disobeyed him. And Bluebeard, on discovering her disobedience, set out to kill her. She called her brothers, who came and killed and dismembered Bluebeard and saved their sister. So what is it that the young woman was meant to learn that she did not? For starters, she needed to cultivate her true self. She needed to cultivate wisdom and knowledge and notice what was true or not. It was knowledge and wisdom that she was expected to give up to get along with the Bluebeard predator. The brothers represent groundedness, wisdom, and maturity. This is where education is so important. These are capabilities in ourselves that we need to cultivate, and we do so with a joy practice, where we seek to be grounded, in touch with reality, the good in ourselves, others, nature, and the world. It's naturally protective against predatory forces in the individual and at the social and cultural levels. Throughout history, predatory energy has been depicted as male, although we all have the capacity to be predatory. Most of us are not so inclined, but nonetheless, we bump into these difficult energies in our lives. We need to make education and wisdom central to our efforts to cultivate the best in us and make life good for ourselves and others. This is why a joy practice is not only healing, but it's also self-protective, while inviting the best that is possible in life. A joy practice uncomplicates our lives while bringing out the best, and is a wonderful antidote to negative inner critics and other predatory energies. It is self-cherishing and life-cherishing, and I recommend it as a way to make your life beautiful. Cultivating these energies silences the inner critic and helps you develop a natural and well-deserved self-respect. By virtue of its intention and attention, it minimizes self-doubt and discouragement. It has space for so much that is beautiful in us that Bluebeard would not like. and it is time for us to show the Bluebeards of the world, both inner and outer, in our lives, the door. Thank you for watching this video with me. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about how joy can transform your life. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on the transformative power of joy. I will be back soon to give you more information about how joy as a practice and compass can transform your life. Stay well and joyful until then, and thank you for watching.